Good morning students. I hope you are all doing good. Let us see what we are going to discuss in today's class.
Good morning, ma. In previous class we have seen what are the factors affecting equilibrium. Those factors also clearly we have studied. Now our next side heading is relation between G, Kc and Q. Relationship between G, Kc and Q. Okay, now we have first one relation, that is delta G is equal to delta G naught plus delta G is equal to delta G naught plus capital R into capital T into natural logarithm of Q, where Q is called reaction coefficient. This is our basic relation, where delta G is called Gibbs free energy, delta G naught is called standard Gibbs free energy. Standard Gibbs free energy. Now at equilibrium, delta G is equal to 0. At equilibrium, delta G is equal to 0 and Qc is equal to Kc. That means Q is equal to K. This implies delta G is equal to 0. 0 is equal to delta G naught plus R into T into ln of K. K is nothing but equilibrium constant. We can write it as Kc also. This implies this one I am sending left side, then it will become minus RT ln Kc delta G naught is equal to minus natural logarithm. If you convert into common logarithm, we can multiply with 2.303. ln of K is equal to 2.303 into log K. If you want to convert that natural logarithm into common logarithm, we need to multiply by 2.303. So this one will become 2.303 RT log Kc. Delta G naught is equal to minus 2.303 into RT log Kc. Keep it in box. Same this relationship you will see in electrochemistry next year, 12th class also. Okay ma? Next, I am going to take this one only. Delta G naught is equal to minus RT ln Kc. So equation 1. From equation 1, delta G naught is equal to minus RT ln Kc base E. Natural logarithm is nothing but base E. Let us send this RT this side with minus sign. It will become minus delta G naught by RT is equal to ln of Kc base E This implies Kc is equal to e power minus delta G naught by RT. This one also formula from logarithms. Log A base B is equal to m. This implies A is equal to B power m. Log A base B is equal to m. This implies A is equal to B power m. So finally we are going to write Kc is equal to e power minus delta G naught by RT. This is one more relation. Is it okay, ma? Next, the conditions we are going to see now. When delta G is equal to 0, reaction has attained equilibrium. When delta G is less than 0, reaction favors forward reaction. When delta G is greater than 0, forward reaction will not be taken place, but backward reaction will be taken place. So reaction favors backward reaction. These terms you will get more clarity in thermodynamics chapter. Before that, I hope this one is clear for you. Delta G is equal to 0, reaction has attained equilibrium. Delta G is less than 0, reaction favors forward reaction. When delta G is greater than 0, reaction favors backward reaction. And these are the relationships between delta G, that means G, Gibbs free energy, Kc, equilibrium constant, and Q, reaction coefficient. Note down carefully, this is also one of the important formulae. Okay, ma? Up to this, I hope you are clear. And finally, one more term we need to know while we are doing the problems for equilibrium, that is degree of dissociation. Alpha. Degree of dissociation alpha. This is the term which explains how much extent the particle undergoes dissociation. Okay, for example, I have taken 100 molecules of CH3COOH. Before that, I am taking 100 molecules of NaCl. When I take 100 molecules of NaCl, these are added to water. All the 100 molecules are converted to 100 Na plus ions and 100 Cl minus ions. Total 100 NaCl particles are converted to 100 Na plus ions and 100 Cl minus ions. What is the meaning of this one? Here, NaCl undergoes 100% dissociation. NaCl undergoes 100% dissociation. In this condition, alpha is equal to 100% means 100 by 100, 1. So if any particle undergoes 100% dissociation, in that condition alpha is equal to 1. That is the maximum value for alpha. Now Next example, I considered 100 molecules of CH3COOH undergoes dissociation, in which out of 100 molecules only 60 molecules are undergone dissociation. 60 CH3COO plus ions and 60 H plus ions. Out of 100 molecules, how many molecules undergone dissociation? 60 molecules. Means the percentage of dissociation is 60% here. 60% dissociation. Meaning out of 100 molecules, 60 molecules undergone dissociation. 60 molecules have undergone dissociation. That is the meaning. Out of 100%, out of 100, 60 molecules have undergone dissociation. That is 60% dissociation. In this case of 60% dissociation, alpha is equal to 60 by 100, that is 0.6. Okay, this is the maximum percentage which is undergone by any particle. Less than that, remaining 90%, 80%, 70% like that are there. Okay, if a particle undergoes 60% dissociation, alpha is equal to 0.6. If a particle undergoes 70% dissociation, alpha is equal to 0.7. If a particle undergoes 20% dissociation only, then alpha is equal to 0.2. Like that, 20% means 20 by 100, 22% means 22 by 100. Like that we can write anything. If they give percentage, simply divided by 100, you will get alpha value. Is it okay, ma? That is nothing but degree of dissociation. By seeing the alpha value, we can say to how much extent that particle will undergo dissociation. By seeing alpha is equal to 1, we can say that that particle undergoes 100% dissociation. By seeing that alpha is equal to 0.6, we can say that it will undergo 60% dissociation. Like that is the importance of alpha value, the degree of dissociation. That is called, alpha is called degree of dissociation. Okay, ma? These are the terms useful in chemical equilibrium, and this is about the completion of chemical equilibrium. Next we have to start with ionic equilibrium. Ma? Shall we go through that one? I hope this class is clear for you up to here. Next we can go for ionic equilibrium. Under the heading ionic equilibrium, means in solutions ions will be in equilibrium with undissociated particles. Ma? Okay, everywhere equilibrium is nothing but same. Two or three different types of two types, they are going to be existed at the same time. That is called equilibrium. Here ionic equilibrium meaning ions will be in equilibrium with others. In what way, we are going to discuss that one. To understand this ionic equilibrium, we have to immediately keep our heading acids, bases and salts. So we are going to study this ionic equilibrium in terms of acids, bases and salts. In this, first we will study about acids and bases. After that, we will enter into salts. Okay, now coming to acids and bases, different definitions are there to define acids and bases. In 10th class also you have studied. Generally, we might have heard that acid, sour in taste, base, bitter in taste. Acid turns blue litmus to red. Base turns red litmus to blue. When acid reacts with base, salt plus water will be formed. When base reacts with acid, salt plus water will be formed. Like that, so many properties of acids and bases were studied. Okay, but before going to the properties of acids and bases, we have to know the basic definitions of acid and base. Is it correct or not? Those basic definitions were given by three scientists majorly. Majorly, three scientists gave the definitions of acids and bases. Those three scientists. First scientist name is Arrhenius. According to this Arrhenius, what is meant by a acid and what is meant by a base? Substance donates H plus ions when it is added to water is called Arrhenius acid. Substance donates H plus ions when it is added to water is called Arrhenius acid. Substance donates OH minus ions when it is added to water is called base. Substance donates OH minus ions when it is added to water is called base. These two are coming under Arrhenius acid and Arrhenius base. Example for Arrhenius acid: HCl, H2SO4, H3PO4. These are all examples for Arrhenius acids. Arrhenius base: NaOH, KOH, MgOH twice, etc. These are all examples for Arrhenius bases. These are all examples for Arrhenius acids. Okay, this is first theory, Arrhenius, which gave the scientist name. This theory was proposed by Arrhenius. According to Arrhenius, the substance which donates H plus ions when it is added to water is called acid. Substance which donates OH minus ions when it is added to water is called base. Next, second one. Two scientists' names: Bronsted, Lowry. What is that? Bronsted, Lowry. According to this Bronsted, Lowry, what is meant by acid? Substance which donates protons. Protons are nothing but H plus ions only, because hydrogen contains one proton and one electron. After the electron donation, hydrogen has one proton only, so H plus is nothing but like a proton only. Substance which donates protons when it is added to water is called Bronsted-Lowry acid. Simply it is called Bronsted acid. Coming to base, substance which accepts protons is called Arrhenius base. Bronsted-Lowry base. Substance which donates protons when it is added to water is called acid. Here no need of condition of water. Substance which donates protons is called acid. Substance which accepts protons is called base. Substance which donates protons is called acid. Substance which accepts protons is called base. For example, HCl, H2SO4, HNO3, these are all examples for proton donors. Okay, in a simple term we can write it as this one as proton donor, and in a simple term this one we can write it as proton acceptor. Okay, what are the proton acceptors? NH3, H2O, etc. Okay, this is about Bronsted-Lowry theory, and previous one is called Arrhenius theory. According to Arrhenius and Bronsted, we have seen what is meant by acid and base. Now we will go for third type, that is Lewis theory. According to this Lewis, what is meant by a acid and what is meant by a base? Substance which accepts electrons. Is called Lewis acid. Substance which donates electrons is called Lewis base. Simply Lewis acid is called electron pair acceptors, Lewis bases are called electron pair donors. Example, H plus, BF3, AlCl3, etc. These are all containing, AlCl3 containing empty orbital, BF3 also contains empty orbital, H plus also contains empty orbital. They have such capacity to accept electron pair. Those are all acting like Lewis acids. And coming to Lewis bases, NH3 which contains one lone pair, H2O which contains two lone pairs, etc. These are examples for Lewis bases. These are examples for Lewis acids. Okay, ma? These are the three theories which explains the definition of acid and base correctly. According to these theories, a substance which accepts or which obeys any one of the theories will be called as acid or base. No need to obey all the theories. There is no condition that any substance which obeys any one theory is called acid or base. No need of all the three theories, ma. Any one theory. If a substance obeys Arrhenius theory, then it is called acid, Arrhenius acid. If a substance obeys Bronsted-Lowry theory, that is called Bronsted acid or Bronsted base. If a substance obeys Lewis theory, that is called Lewis acid or Lewis base. Okay, this is about first basic definitions of acid and base. First we kept heading under heading ionic equilibrium, acids, bases and salts. Under that first we will study about acids and bases only. Under that three definitions are there for acid and base. Those are Arrhenius, according to Arrhenius theory, according to Bronsted theory and according to Lewis theory. After knowing the definitions of acid and base, our next side heading is ionic product of water. After completion of studying that definitions of acid and bases, our next side heading is ionic product of water. Okay, generally we will know that water is completely neutral in nature. All these things we know. Okay, because water cannot be dissociated into H plus ions and OH minus ions easily. At normal room temperature, water cannot be dissociated into H plus ions and OH minus ions easily. But very less amount of H plus ions and OH minus ions will be observed in water also. Okay, for example, let us consider H2O undergoes dissociation to form H plus ions and OH minus ions. H2O undergoes dissociation to form H plus ions and OH minus ions. Why did I show here equilibrium? Here dissociated ions and undissociated molecules both are present in equilibrium. Dissociated ions H plus and OH minus ions and undissociated water molecules are present in equilibrium. That's why only this topic is dealt under equilibrium topic. Is it okay? And one more thing, this is also called dynamic equilibrium only. Now H2O is decomposed into, or dissociated into H plus ions and OH minus ions. Is it okay? Apply Kc for this one, means equilibrium constant for this equilibrium. Kc is equal to concentration of H plus into concentration of OH minus divided by concentration of H2O. This implies Kc into concentration of H2O is equal to concentration of H plus into concentration of OH minus. Concentration of H2O is constant. There will not be any change in concentration of H2O. Again, Kc is also constant, equilibrium constant. Multiplication of these two will give to one more new constant, which is called multiplication of these two will give one more new constant, which is called Kw. Kw is equal to Kc into concentration of H2O. This implies I am going to substitute this Kc into H2O as Kw. We will get Kw is equal to concentration of H plus into concentration of OH minus. Kw is equal to concentration of H plus into concentration of OH minus. This is called ionic product of water. This is called ionic product of water. Okay? Kw is equal to concentration of H plus into concentration of OH minus, where Kw is equal to ionic product of water. Or dissociation constant of water. Remember carefully, Kw is equal to concentration of H plus into concentration of OH minus. Okay, water will undergo dissociation to form H plus ions and OH minus ions. Scientists found that in this dissociation, concentration of H plus is equal to 10 power minus 7 moles per liter and concentration of OH minus equal to 10 power minus 7 moles per liter. That means when we take 1 mole per liter H2O, 1 mole per liter H2O, in that 10 power minus 7 moles per liter H plus, 10 power minus 7 moles per liter OH minus ions will be present. That means 10 power minus 7 part is undergoing dissociation. That is very low dissociation. 10 power minus 7 means 0.601. 0.01 itself very low value. 0.601 means you can understand. It is very low dissociation. Okay? Okay, anyways, we got the values. Concentration of H plus equal to 10 power minus 7. Concentration of OH minus equal to 10 power minus 7. Then Kw is equal to 10 power minus 7 into 10 power minus 7, which is equal to 10 power minus 14 mole square per liter square. This is the value of Kw. Where Kw is called ionic product of water or dissociation constant of water. Okay, ma? I hope you are clear about this one. After completion of this, we have to go to pH. pH is called power of H, that is power of H plus ion. Is used to measure the strength of acidic nature of acid. pH is used to measure the strength of acidic nature of acid. Okay, we have a formula for pH, that is pH is equal to negative logarithm of concentration of H plus. What is that? pH is equal to negative logarithm of concentration of H plus. Very important ma. These are all pH values, pOH, like that. Different terms are there. pKa, pKb. All these are very important terms. pH means power of H plus, is used to measure the strength of acidic nature of acid. pH is equal to negative logarithm of concentration of H plus. Okay. In the same way, pOH is also there. pOH is nothing but power of OH minus, is used to measure the strength of basic nature of base. Same way, how did we write the pH is equal to negative logarithm of concentration of H plus? pOH is equal to negative logarithm of concentration of OH minus. Now Kw is equal to concentration of H plus into concentration of OH minus. I am giving equation 1. Kw is equal to 10 power minus 14. This is equation 2. pH is equal to negative logarithm of concentration of H plus. This is equation 3. pOH is equal to negative logarithm of concentration of OH minus. This is equation 4. Totally 4 equations we got. Note down carefully. Now I am going to take equation 1 again. Kw is equal to concentration of H plus into concentration of OH minus. Apply negative logarithm on both sides. Apply minus log on both sides. It will be formed as minus logarithm of Kw is equal to minus logarithm of H plus into OH minus. This is in the form of log A into B. Log A into B is equal to log A plus log B. So this implies minus log Kw is equal to minus of log H plus plus log OH minus. Minus I kept like this only. Log A into B I applied this formula. Then it will become log A plus log B. This implies minus log Kw is equal to, this minus I am multiplying my inside, minus log H plus I am keeping like that only, minus log OH minus. Plus into minus minus only na, so I did not change the value. Simply I kept minus inside. Observe, this is minus log H plus and this is minus log OH minus. Minus log H plus is called pH. Minus log OH minus is called pOH. So from 3 and 4, from equations 3 and 4, we can write this one as minus log Kw is equal to minus log H plus is nothing but pH plus minus log OH minus is nothing but POH. This implies minus log KW is equal to pH plus POH. But from equation 2, KW is equal to 10 power minus 14. Already I have kept equation 2 ma. From that equation 2 we have gotten that KW is equal to 10 power minus 14. Apply negative logarithm for this one. For this KW apply negative logarithm ma. Minus log KW is equal to minus log 10 power minus 14. This is in the form of log A power m is equal to m log A. We have logarithms formula. Logarithm of A power m is equal to m log A. Then this minus 14 will come here. We will get 14 into log 10. We know that log 10 is equal to 1. Then this one will become 14 into 1 is equal to 14. Into 1 is equal to 14. So minus log KW is equal to 14. I am going to substitute this minus log KW is equal to 14 value here. Minus log KW is equal to 14. This is equation 5. So from equation 5 I am going to substitute this one here ma. You will get 14 is equal to pH plus POH. This is equation 6. pH plus POH is equal to 14. Next, we know that minus log H plus equal to pH ma. Minus log OH minus ion is equal to POH. Same way, minus log KW is equal to PKW. Similarity, H plus means pH I wrote, OH minus ion means POH I wrote, KW means PKW. Is it okay? Now again from this one, pH plus POH is equal to minus log KW. Minus log KW I can write it as PKW. So finally I am going to write PKW is equal to pH plus POH. This is equation 7. These are the important formulae till now we got regarding pH and POH ma. Minus log KW is equal to 14 and minus log KW is equal to PKW. So we can write it as pH plus POH is equal to 14 or pH plus POH is equal to PKW. Okay, keep it in box carefully. And this is about the important formula related to pH and PKW. Just one more time I will just recall that one. See, from KW we have started from KW ma. This is dissociation constant of water. Minus log KW value is equal to KW is equal to 10 power minus 14 we got. pH is equal to minus log H plus, POH is equal to minus log OH minus, KW is equal to concentration of H plus into concentration of OH minus. Applying negative logarithm on both sides, then we got minus log KW is equal to pH plus POH. but minus log Kw is equal to 14. So pH plus pOH is equal to 14. From that different formula we got, and finally 6 and 7 are very important. pH plus pOH is equal to 14 and pH plus pOH is equal to pKw. Okay ma, these are the important formulae related to pH, and this is about today's class. In next class we will see pH scale. Okay, combinedly both acidic strength and basic strength, whether strong acid or weak acid or strong base or weak base, we can identify by using the pH scale. That one we will see in next class ma. After completion of the pH scale we will continue with our concept. Okay, this is the starting of the ionic equilibrium. I hope you are clear everything. Even here also equilibrium will be established, that's why this topic is also kept under equilibrium only. Even in acid base sense also we will observe equilibrium. Okay, that is about today's class. I hope you are clear. If you have any doubts you can contact me anytime. I will clarify your doubts. Thank you all. Thank you. Have a nice day.